Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Sunday Morning Coffee with Lisa. I'm spiritual coach Lisa Hopp. It is Sunday, October 17, 2021. Thank you so much for joining me. If you're new, please be sure to check out my website at lisahopp.com. That's lisahopp.com. And also, please find me on Facebook under Spirit Teacher Lisa Hopp and follow me there. If you'd like. I'd appreciate it so much. And of course, if you are listening to this on YouTube, please share, and subscribe. Share, and subscribe. I just made up a word there. I'd appreciate it so very much. So I wasn't really feeling well last week, so I didn't record a podcast last week. I got up with all kinds of topics rambling around in my head to talk about, but I just felt not myself, I want to say. So I think I've taken off maybe 3 times in this over a year that I've been doing the podcast. So I'm hoping everyone who listens every week didn't mind. I apologize, but I'm back. Here I am, and I think I was meant to wait because over this week I got wonderful reinforcement of the topic I'm going to talk to you about today's topic, and that is, are you aligned with what you want? I've gotten reinforcement about that all week, meaning reminders and signs that I get what I'm aligned with. So what is alignment? Well, it's really simple. When you want to be wealthy, you must feel that you are aligned in a very wealthy way, that you are walking around feeling wealthy, that you can easily look at yachts and not go, someday I hope to afford that. That you can be in the presence of wealth, walking along the beach, enjoying the presence of feeling wealthy on that beach. You can also, and are supposed to, if you're aligned, feel wealthy exactly where you are right now, in your current home, in your current car, in your current job. So if you're sitting at your job, doing your job 110%, and feeling incredibly wealthy, and knowing that if you wanted to, you could depart from that job at any time, or you can stay there and make cash flow, whichever you prefer, and that you have choices. And you also, when you're aligned with wealth or aligned with anything, not only are you in the present moment, but you feel incredibly light. You don't have that worry, that lack, perhaps anxiety, stresses. Freedom has come. That wonderful feeling. So let's say you want a love relationship, a romantic one. You have to feel that you're in the presence of it first. You have to be open, yes, ready. But you also have to feel wonderfully good as if you already have it. It's already yours. It's a presence in your life. It's almost like a wonderful, lucid daydream. But you're living it like it's your reality. You don't stop every once in a while and say, this is just my imagination, or this is just a daydream. It's real to you. It has all the colors, all the feelings, all the intensity. I've been listening quite a bit this week to Neville Goddard. I knew before I said that, by the way, that I was going to mispronounce his name. He's originally from Jamaica, and he's a wonderful teacher. In all honesty, he tends to talk more about Christ when he speaks, and the disciples, and more religious doctrine in his talks. But he speaks truth, and he speaks with alignment. He speaks on how to use your imagination and how it's a gift. And it was given to us, our imagination, in order to create our worlds, but also the ability with our imagination to be almost Christ-like. He explains that Christ even used his imagination and his intuition in creation. And we can tap into that source as well. And so it's a wonderful, wonderful person to listen to. He's no longer on this earth. He has transitioned for quite a while, but during his time, He was a great author and teacher. So I recommend you check him out. Stay with it when he does start talking about Thaddeus and Jesus Christ a bit, because it can perhaps be confusing of how he's wording it. It's very much, I think, in other ways how speakers can be when they have a good certain way about speaking. Some preachers can talk a certain way about scripture, and you're like, just stay with it. There's a core root they're going with this, a core subject they're trying to teach, but maybe it almost seems like they're talking in parables or something. So stay with it, because he has wonderful, wonderful teachings. I'm a bit of a plain speaker, have to say. I am simple, and I don't mean simple-minded. I mean, I like to come to my work speaking as plainly as possible, not because I don't think my audience or my one-on-one clients are intelligent. I just feel that I am meant to be more of a simpler talker, more basic. And I do that on purpose because I want to be understood. I don't want to lose you. Sometimes when I'm done giving a good example, I'll say to someone in front of me, was that clear? Did you understand? And it's never about, were you able to comprehend because of what was happening with your own mind? It's always about, are you able to comprehend me? Am I speaking plainly and clearly enough? When I do healing, I also don't add a lot of elements. I'm not against adding to hands-on healing crystals or drums or oils. I just do hands-on. I just stay with the basics. It's what I prefer. It's who I am. So when I recommend Neville Goddard to you, I am telling you that he doesn't speak like me, but we speak about the same things. Much like Wayne Dyer spoke about such things. Abraham, the group that Esther Hicks channels from. Any of the information you received in the movie The Secret. My good teacher, Mike Dooley, who very much speaks like Neville Goddard, teaches like him, not speaks like him. You see, Neville, Mr. Goddard, and my teacher, Mike Dooley, they say the same thing. That when you want to attract something into your life, when you want to manifest, you stay in the end result. You don't worry about the specifics. You don't go the day to day, like I have to do this first and then that next and that next. When you are visualizing, when you are in the present, you are in the present of that end result. It has happened. Your life is already there. So that is why in order to attract love, you are already feeling the relationship. You're already feeling the wonder of it, the warmth of it. Perhaps you can feel yourself holding someone's hand. You can hear yourself laughing with them. And when it comes to wealth, you already have the full bank account. You're already ready to take the trip, able to take the trip. You're already able, as I said, to look at a yacht and figure out, do I want extra size or am I good with this size? You can shop. And you can shop easily knowing that it's coming to you and it's yours. Or an RV or a new car. You know, this also applies not just to material things. Material examples are simple and good. But if your end result in life is just to have peace, freedom, then you can just feel that too. But you have to feel it before you see it. You have to see it within your own mind before you see it outside of your mind. If you can visualize, you have to believe that it's yours before you see it on the outside. So that's why the topic is, are you aligned with health? You have to feel healthy before you have health. You have to know you have the cure. You have to feel your ideal weight before you see it. You walk around, just walk around. I have health, I have health, I have health. Now, when are you not aligned? And you know what? We're all of us have moments where we're not aligned, or as Abraham puts it, out of the vortex. The vortex, by the way, is in alignment. Most people, a lot of people perhaps, I don't want to say most, because I don't want to embellish, but a lot of people are not in alignment with what they would ask for. And I bet you've had these moments if you're not one of them that's a lot out of alignment. But it can always be fixed. It can always be changed. Here's a great example of someone who's not in alignment with what they'd asked for. The Powerball's gotten up to 800 million. I'm going to play. This is what I do with it. Not aligned. Yes, you can intend to help others. But if you're rambling around in your mind, I will buy this for this grandchild, but not for that sister, and not do this, but do that. Or if you see somebody else as lacking, or if you have any fear about winning and what it may mean for your life. If you buy the ticket feeling poor, you will not win. You are not aligned with wealth. If you ever say, I cannot afford that, you're not aligned with wealth. Even if it's your physical reality, if you ever say, I cannot quit that job, I need health care. Now that's not a judgment, by the way. I've heard people say that. And what is not understood is that when you say, I cannot quit, I need health care, you continue to not have change and to always need health care. You are aligning what you really don't want instead of what you do want. When we align with what we want, we're not coming from a place of being without it. We don't feel without it. We don't talk like we don't have it. And we don't think like we don't have it. So when you say one day I'd like to do this, or I would go to Bora Bora if I weren't so Pora. True. You're actually keeping yourself poor. It's not your human fault. You don't deserve it. It's just the way energy works. Vibrational energy works. It brings to you what you put out. It's so simple. Yet so many people ignore that and live in the physical reality they see themselves in. But you see, the physical reality that you're in today is the one you created yesterday, or 3 months ago, or whenever you created it. It's your past, showing itself up in your present. So if you did that in the past, you can change your future. Yes, you have that power. Don't ever think you don't. Because there are people and organizations that would tell you you do not have power. You're just a sinner. Bad luck, good luck. It's your lot. Do the best with it. They're rich, they're poor. But no, you are, as long as you are aligned with what you want, you can have anything that you would ask for. And that is very powerful, isn't it? That puts it all in your hands. You're not counting on another, really. It's you. That's very powerful. So that's the difference between those who have the most wealth. They have no problem with having the most wealth. They're aligned with it. And they keep doing them. But you have the same access. No matter what you're told, you have the same access to that wealth. Yes, if you're going to be a billionaire, you would have to come up with the big idea. But you won't come up with the big idea when you're feeling desperate or lacking. You come up with a big idea always. They all did. When they were in a state of presence, when they were aligned with wealth. I'm not saying you should also play the lottery. I love hearing the stories, those who win. They either know they're going to win one day, but they don't know when, or they fully didn't even remember they played, and then they find out they win. And it's a bit unexpected. The unexpectedness is a detachment. They're not waiting for the numbers, spending the money before they have it. It's on a whim. And then they find out, oh wow, I won. And then the other ones just felt it was coming and just lined up with it. They were ready. They were open. It's never about luck. It's never about picking the right numbers. It's always about energy alignment. I say often, and you may notice this if you listen every week, it's not your fault. You're not to blame. The only criticism I've ever really heard out there about law of attraction and energy is you're blaming people. You blame the victim, not me personally, but that the law does. The natural law does. So I want to be clear, I wouldn't do that. And this law doesn't have an emotion. You're not to blame for your current state of life. You just didn't have all the information to work to the utmost with it. Not consciously. We're given answers here and there, divinely. There are little things that we know to say, it'll always work out, or, different things that we're taught, different phrases that we live by. We also live by negative ones, such as money doesn't grow on trees. Well, actually it does. One we're taught, you have to work hard for the money. No, you don't. So we're taught things that are not necessarily right, and then trickled in there is truth. So many of us know the answers about things, but we get lost in this ever-sensory world where we're caught up in paying bills and emotions and stresses and things. So our higher selves that connects into this energy gets put aside, and we live primarily with our physical self. But our physical self is not supposed to be primary. We are a being, a spiritual, powerful being in a physical shell. The senses make it more of a boot camp on this earth, make it more of a challenge, but they're not. The senses are not supposed to dominate. The utter up and downs and ebbs and flows of this world are not supposed to dominate. Being connected to your higher selves is supposed to dominate. So how do you get into alignment with what you want? As I said before, you start with watching your thoughts, your feelings, and your words. If you find yourself saying something that you don't want to show up in your future, you grab it in that moment and you reverse it. I can't do that right now. You grab it and reverse it. I'm in the process of being able to do that. I can't afford that. I'm able to afford whatever I set my mind to. See how easy it is to change? I am is very powerful. I am is God's source. You connect right into your manifestation abilities with the words I am. But what do you put after I am? Do you put I am fat? Or I am healthy? Do you put I am stressed? Or I am happy? Remember, what you put after I am, you're bringing into you. Now, we have a lot of thoughts a day, but we can catch our words. So when you say words that you know are not going to bring you what you ultimately want, just grab them and change the words right in that moment, and you've changed the impact, because the positive always overcomes the negative. It's more powerful. So you can tweak it, change it right there. Now, there are some in this world, and maybe one of you are one of those people or more. I like to get into it all, don't you? The emotions, the drama, the feelings. Okay, have it. But know that when you get it back, it is what you put out. Accept it. Say thank you. It's all right. Some of you are afraid to believe that this is true. That energy, that you can deliberately create with energy. Try it. Try it by trying to manifest a cup of coffee. Visualize in your own mind a couple added zeros to your bank accounts, just for fun. Do it with distance, detachment, and see what occurs. I said to a client recently, I attract more money when I don't focus on money. And they smiled because they knew that was true. When I focus on serving, when I focus on living, when I focus on being happy, I thrive. When I focus on my salary, I do not thrive, because I fall out of alignment with what I want. So you cannot be financially free if you're focusing on how much there is, where it is, when is it coming, and all those little things that can matter to us. Now, it doesn't mean you shouldn't balance your checkbook and pay your bills. I'm saying when you're waiting and looking and or perhaps more emotionally involved in even someone, I cut myself off there, you see, even someone who is building their accounts up, getting ready for retirement, is looking at all their investments all the time and how much interest and all those little, basic facts. Unless they're doing so feeling completely wealthy, they're stifling what they're trying to do. They're stifling those accounts. When you're looking at your bank accounts or any savings, wherever it is, you look at it as if it's thriving in the moment and you are wealthy and life is good and that wonderful trip is coming, and it's all about lightness and lightness of being and freedom and tranquility. And when you have that down, you know for the most part blessings are on their way. Now, life will always program into it lessons. There will always be loss. There will always be ups and downs. It's why we're in this human experience. But if you can really become good, great at feeling what you want, being aligned with it, talking like you have it already, and thinking like you have it already, you will see that life flows much more securely, much more successfully, much more happily. Some of those bumps, those stresses will smooth out. There's a security about it like nothing else. I also want to say this. Again, it's on a human level. It is not what you deserve. Energy, vibration, alignment doesn't care if you're the worst person on this planet or you. It doesn't have emotions involved like that. It just doesn't. It responds only to energetic frequency, not to morals, goodness, integrity. It just doesn't. That's why there's no such thing as bad or good luck. Keep that in mind, because I know that that's hard for us sometimes to digest. And you may think that's not fair. I'm a good person. Why can't I just have more? You have to ask for it, and you have to align with it. You see, heaven sees everyone as good and perfect with their light. There's unconditional love coming from heaven to all its creatures. And heaven set up this universal frequency that takes care of what you put out, you get back. I think it's quite brilliant, actually. It's like an autopilot thing. And while you have angels and spirit guides and departed loved ones that serve you for who you are and how wonderful you are, that autopilot energy that's in charge of what comes into you in no way is emotionally involved with you. And so that means sometimes bad people get great things or get great breaks. And sometimes it means someone who's amazingly wonderful is struggling. But you have the power to change it. You have the power. So get into your mind, your amazing, powerful mind, and into your emotions, and into your thoughts. And when you slip up, just fix it right in a second. And yes, people around you who are not ready to do it will look at you with an eyebrow raised, perhaps. But it doesn't matter, because they're the first one to follow you when they see it working for you. And you don't have to explain yourself anyway. Do you know how many wonderful people in this world that are rich walked around saying, I'm winning that, I'm getting that, I'm having that? That's where it started. They brought it to themselves. Health, love, wealth, security, the opportunity for education, whatever you would ask for, a child. Whatever you would ask for, align with it as if it's already there. Now, as I said, people will look at you as if they hear you say it. I personally keep most of my self-talk away from people so that I don't have their vibration impacting it. And I work on my thoughts and my feelings. But if you can handle the eyebrow raise or the comments like, you're not in the right mind or something, then you can talk quite easily in front of others. Go ahead. This is different than someone who is not in the right mind or is not, is in need of something more. This is manifestation. This is visualizing. This is affirming. This is deliberate creation of your life. So you are in touch with the reality of your future. You're not out of touch with reality. You're in touch with the reality of your future. So it's all right. It's healthy and it's different. So I wanted to be sure to say that to you. So how about we start today with that alignment, and when you slip up, just get back on the horse. Because if you can keep it consistent, if you can keep it consistent for more than 21 days, you got it. But sometimes it only takes a day or two to reach you. But consistency pays off. But if you slip up, then you just get started again, right back on. And then watch. You might get hints, signs, mini successes, and then big plops. The universe knows what it's doing. It does send signs too, that you'll know it's coming. Try it. It's worth trying it. And when you become a deliberate creator, there's so much happiness in it, so much joy. It makes life better. And you deserve the happiest life you could possibly have. Thank you for joining me today on this Sunday. I hope you have a wonderful week. Be sure to check out my website at lisahop.com. And also be sure to like, subscribe, share on YouTube. And follow me and like me, please, on Facebook. Please like me. On Facebook under Spirit Teacher Lisa Hop. Thank you. I hope you have a wonderful Sunday and a week filled with many blessings.